Okay, so I know that for the past whole patch of 3.0, the whole Genshin Impact community has always been like Dendro this, Dendro that, Dendro MC, Dendro Kusanali, Dendro Baizu. Oh, the character still exists? However, in today's video, I want to pull all of your attention away slightly from Dendro reaction and show to you another very important change that was made in patch 3.0. And that is, if you've guessed it, yes, Hydro Resonance. But then what does it have to do with Hu Tao, who is the character on my video's thumbnail, you may ask? Well then, let me share with you a story to how I found this very important piece of information. Was that the other day when I was working on clearing the abyss of patch 3.0, I was kind of curious to see which character are actually being used mostly now that Dendro reaction and character have arrived. And then I came across this amazing infographic of the top teams which are being used by the Chinese community. Thank you very much to the person on Reddit that shared us this infographic. Now normally I would expect that National Raiden is going to be the top #1 team to be used because it basically has always been the case from most of the past abyss. However, to my surprise, National Raiden was only on 3rd place. And on the top #1 team, we have this team which comprises of Hu Tao, Xingqiu, Zhongli, and Yelan, sitting at a 15% of usage, around 1.5% more than National Raiden. So I was really surprised to see this team, plus I'm very interested to finding out more about the team and testing out, which is why we have today's video diving in depth in this Hu Tao team and have the comparison between this new Hu Tao team with her previous best team as well as against National Raiden to see how well this Hu Tao National team is going to do. And to help all of you have a better understanding of why this team was being used a lot more than Raiden National. Now I know I said it was Hu Tao National team, and then before you actually go and debate down in the comment section about why and whether this might or might not be a national team, bear in mind is that this team name is just myself personally giving it because I like to call the team so. I'm not saying that this is going to be the best team in Genshin Impact either when calling it national, but you'll be able to make your own conclusion after our comparison with Raiden National later on. So we know that this team comprises of Hu Tao, Xingqiu, Zhongli, and Yelan, and the main reason why this team works so well together is because of Hydro Resonance. Yes, Hydro Resonance was also buffed significantly after patch 3.0 because before I believe it was only giving us a healing bonus of 15% or it was around 25%, please correct me if I'm wrong. But when 3.0 arrived, it was changed to giving your team a 25% HP increase, which is the core of this team because we know that Hu Tao scales off of HP. If you don't remember, then Yelan's damage also scale off of HP, and if you also have forgotten, then Zhongli's damage and shield strength also scale off of HP. So there you go, with just Hydro Resonance giving HP increase, that 3 character have already had a direct buff to it. Not to mention Xingqiu as well. HP increase also benefits Xingqiu for it helps him with a little bit of healing. So every single member of this team will benefit off of Hydro Resonance. Plus, looking at the current meta, she is basically the only main DPS character that would actively benefit off of HP increase. Most of the other characters that benefits from HP increase are usually support or sub DPS character, unless you're maining Kokomi and have her as a main DPS of course. And then later on, once Nilou comes, she will also actively benefit off of HP as well, but at this current point it is only Hu Tao. Now running with 2 sub DPS Hydro support character, you might be thinking that it would affect a lot with Hu Tao's Vaporize damage. However, through my personal testing, it would be confirmed that Hu Tao can still very comfortably vaporize her attack, mainly her charge attack. She is still able to basically vaporize every single one of her charge attack. Yelan and Xingqiu might interrupt with their own vaporize here and there, but it's not too much. Having both Yelan and Xingqiu here, we are able to have the enemies being applied with hydro elements almost all the time, helping Hu Tao being able to vaporize a lot of her attack. Now if you're doing a normal attack spam combo, then she will be able to vaporize once every 3 normal attack. However, as always, I don't usually recommend you to spam normal attack because charge attack is her best kit. Also guys, this is Hu Tao vaporize damage with Zhongli's buff and tenacity, and this is without Zhongli's buff. So to those of you who are still thinking that Zhongli is just a shield bot, just this number here I believe should prove you otherwise. Not to mention, I haven't really used his burst yet in the showcase, but he normally does a lot of off field damage from his burst as well. Now so we've already have an idea that this team is going to do decently well. However, in order to know how well, we would want to test it with other Hu Tao teams. In this section we'll be testing out our Tao National against her old best Hu Tao teams as well as against Raiden National. Now for Hu Tao old team here, I mean that we'll be choosing a Hu Tao team that have been doing very well in the past, and I will be using Hu Tao running with Xiangling, Xingqiu and Kazuha with a Pyro Resonance, as this team in the past have been helping Hu Tao get some of the highest damage number. Also guys, we're just going to be assuming that all of the characters being used in this video are very well invested and well built, and I won't be going through each specific character build as we can watch that in another separate video. So with that, let's see how the 3 teams compare to each other.
Here comes the catch. Let me weave you a verse. Rain outlines your fate.
Solidify.
Nice and straight. Let me weave you a verse. Witness the power of the rock. Rain outward.
Ready.
Teamwork is good. Eat this. At the fragment. Now you shall perish.
So as we can see, the results are relatively the same, basically only like 1 second apart from each other, so it would have been more down to my execution of each of the team. Now you might be thinking that Tao National here is just relatively the same from other teams as well as Raiden National, and so that results here is already pretty good, because being able to come up against Raiden National as one of the best team in Genshin Impact right now is actually very good. However guys, never did I mention that this was the best Tao team I could find, because there was another option, and please have a look right here.
Let me try.
Know my sword. Let me weave you a verse. Let me scry. Written in the stars.
Yep, your eyes did not deceive you. That was a 100k Vaporize charge attack. Now for those speedrunner out there who have a C6 Hu Tao with R5 Staff of Homa, doing this damage might be normal for you. However, if we compare that with the past Hu Tao team who only did like around 50k charge attack, a 100k charge attack is basically double amount or an 100% increase in Hu Tao's damage by just changing up to be Hydro Resonance team with a Mona support. And so the clear time of this team was only 15 seconds, basically 3 to 4 seconds faster than the other teams. Now 3 to 4 seconds might not seem like a big deal, however this test is only 1 rotation run. For if you were to be going into the abyss where you needed around 5 rotation in order to clear a floor, a team that can get you a decrease of 4 seconds for every rotation would basically have already saved you at least 20 to 30 seconds for overall each abyss floor. See, significant, right? So for this team, I changed up Mona in place of Yelan because Mona also fits perfectly into this place where she is a Hydro character. For our Hydro Resonance, she also provides Hydro off-field support, plus she gives basically a whopping 100% attack increase for the team because if you're using Thrilling Tales of Dragon plus her burst at talent level 8, you will be getting around that amount of buff. Plus guys, I would recommend you to have Mona run Energy Recharge Sands in this team so that she can have her burst up a lot more. The only thing about this team though guys is that if you're playing in a group situation enemies, Mona's E skill won't be able to move along with you like Yelan's burst, so her Hydro application is basically stuck in one place. However, if you're kind of fine with that, the rest is basically very good. For the rotation of this team is actually not as tight as you might think, because after the first rotation, all you have to do is basically switch to Zhongli using his burst, and then switch to Xingqiu to set up his burst. After that, the Thrilling Tales buff on Mona and her burst should be back up again, and then once you come to Hu Tao, she should be able to get all of the buff. However, for comfortability, Yelan here should still be the best. Now, if you happen to not have Yelan or Mona, then I would say Barbara should work as well, because Barbara do have access to Thrilling Tales. However, you wouldn't be able to activate Barbara's E skill because her healing is just too much for Hu Tao. Healing Hu Tao way over her 50% HP mark point, which is not really good. And so guys, overall here is going to be the pros and cons of Hu Tao national team. Is that for the pros, it's going to be one of the few teams that you can make best use of Hydro Resonance alongside with Nilou team later on, which we'll touch on once she's arrived. This team can also basically take on all of the content even when you're up against a Pyro Shield because there is a lot of Hydro application. If you're running with Mona on Hu Tao National, then you actually have a full rated national team to run as well because Yelan will be in Xingqiu's place and that will still works perfectly. So there you go, you're now having a two very insane team to use, especially in the Abyss. Also guys, there's no Kazuha needed as well, so that also leave him for other team that you want to run, for example a Freeze Kazuha team. Hu Tao National also rivals that of Raiden National to be one of the best team in Genshin Impact right now. The cons for this team is that it basically requires a pretty high investment, for there are 3 5-star characters running on the team. Also, I mentioned above that this team can take on any content. However, the only thing that's tough for this team is Hydro Shield enemies, which will be a bit tough to break. And then finally, of course, you need Hu Tao to use this team. And so for specific Hu Tao build for this team, it's basically still the same. For weapons, the Staff of Homa is still her best in slot, hands down. Next 4-star option will generally be the Dragon's Bane, because we're basically doing Vaporize damage on this team, so Dragon's Bane is really good, especially if you have an R5. Next, it can be the Deathmatch. It can rival that of the Dragon's Bane as well because it gives you a basically 36% crit rate, which is a lot, helping you build your Hu Tao a lot easier. You can also use Primordial Jade if you have the weapon. However, if you have an R5 Dragon's Bane, it will be better than an R1 Jade Spear. And then there's also a very good weapon that you can use as well, which is the Lithic Spear, because if you are running Yelan on this Hu Tao team, then we'll basically have a full leeway character team and you can make the most out of this spear passive. And the more refinement you have with this spear, the better it is going to become. Artifact wise, the Crimson Witch is still going to be her very best. I don't generally recommend you to run any other set. For the Sands, you can just run either HP or EM, but usually HP is more consistent. You can also run Shimenawa, however I don't recommend you to go with that because it's not really consistent, plus you're losing out on energy for Hu Tao, costing you a bit of a burst damage here and there. And then talents wise, of course you want to level up all of her talent to as high as possible. So we haven't really been able to touch on any of the Dendro team here in this video because all of the team tested here is basically already very top tier and already very good. So hopefully later on down the line, maybe who knows, Kusanali is going to be a very good Dendro support sub DPS character to help Hu Tao have a very good Dendro reaction team. But for now, the team we've discussed in this video is going to be very good, and I hope that it have been very enjoyable possible for you to watch the teams being used throughout this video. Let me know down in the comment section what you think about the team. And also guys, new character Nilu, Sino, and of course Candice is going to be coming very soon. Now if you're interested to have a better chance to pull for the character you like, in collaboration with Paimon's Bargain, we are going to be doing a 6,480 Primogems giveaway once patch 3.1 drops. So if you are new to my channel, be sure to subscribe and join my Discord server where you will have the chance to enter the giveaway. Link to Discord in the description guys. And so I really appreciate you sticking with me till this part of the video. With that guys, I wish you a super day and I will catch you on my next video.